Welcome back to Lakeside on GTR2 for the second race in round 4 of the 1994 Australian Manufacturers Championship. Quite an exciting first race where Phil Ward led home Tony Longhurst and Peter McKay in a very close top 3 finish. Ward's third win of the year, but Longhurst's second place further endorsed his championship lead, and with only 5 races to go, he's certainly taken the championship by a stranglehold. Paul Morris, his main rival, fought his way up from 12th to 5th in that race, so he'll be in a much better place to attack the leaders here in race number 2 coming up. Let's have a look at the grid, and as ever, the race 1 results determine the grid for race 2, so Phil Ward has the pole with Tony Longhurst alongside. Row 2, Peter McKay and Peter Duhlman in the M3 Motorsport Clark BMW. Paul Morris, as we set out of 5, just in front of Englishman James Kay. John Blanchard from position number 7 and John Cotter in the second of the Clark BMWs out of position number 8. Mark Adderton from 9 ahead of Greg Murphy in 10. 11th Steve Ellery, and we're out of 12, Russ Dugman in the number 9 Peugeot 405. We had a big struggle in the first race. We've made a few changes for race 2. We'll have a go and we'll see what happens. From 13, Ken Matthews. 14, Peter Hills in the Sierra, and out of position 15, rounding out the grid, Phil Alexander in the Fortec Peugeot. So let's go down to the grid. We're under starters orders, and race 2 coming up.
Set to go, race 2. Away we go. Bogged down a little bit. So did the others. There's a bottleneck at the kink. We get up the inside of Paul Morris again, like we did in race 1. Not quite, but we're ahead of quite a few of them up to position 8. Made a few changes in between heats. Let's see if we can go a bit better in terms of pace. Morris getting right stuck into, I think it's Peter McKay in the Mercedes. Ran for the completion of lap 1, 17 to go. After qualifying, I didn't think we'd see the back of a Technophone Mercedes at all this weekend. They qualified 1-2. Blanchard right behind us. Down the Hungry corner. Curb. And for a much softer setup for race 2 compared to race 1. That's the line. Through the kink, Blanchard. Race quite late, Blanchard's through. Maybe gone, I think too much horsepower for the Peugeot, so he'll get away around here. Down the 3rd gear, 100 corner. Sideways, down the hill, has Ellery got a run on us? Not quite. We held him off for a long time in heat 1, we'll see if we can do the same in heat 2. 3 down. Back to 3rd for the carousel. Mark Adderton in the pack behind us. Greg Murphy's now slipped ahead of Ellery. Oh, and Murphy got into us. Not going quick enough for the Kiwi, obviously. Murphy's up the inside, getting to his door. Up the inside, across the line. Turn one. I think he may have done enough. I don't know, that was a good move. As it should have been, given how well he went in his after. Mark Adderton behind us now in the Momo BMW. And a lap 5. Carousel. Fifth gear. Let him through. And that could be it. The Peugeot runs such a fine edge. Through the carousel. Down to 11th. Back to how we were in race 1. Steve Ellery right on our backside. Top corner. The front straight. Quite a gaggle behind us. Carousel for the 8th time. Right behind us. Ellery in the X, Peter Jackson, Glenn Seaton, Sierra. Did the 1993 Bathurst 1000 in that car. Ellery and Gary Gazzatti. In the 2-litre class. Perhaps more was expected of these Sierras in the 94 Championship. Our version anyway. They weren't too bad. They weren't BMW 318 beaters, but Ellery was generally up around the M3s and the Phil Ward and Cedes during the year. But in this version, the Sierras are a bit off the pace. but he backed off early. But we've gone in a bit too deep, but we're still ahead. Just. Under brakes. Through Hungary. Past halfway. No retirements from this race yet. I can still see 4 behind us. So there's your 15. Over the hill. To Hungary. Over the top. Down the hill. Nice corner. 7 to go. A long 7 laps. Heading into this race, Tony Longhurst has a 34-point lead over Paul Morris. Phil Ward, who won Heat 1, has got himself into 3rd in the points. And he's only 38 off the lead. So there's definitely, he's not out of it, but he's been quite inconsistent. He's been winning or having poor scores in the Technophone Mercedes. Paul Morris has been quite inconsistent. Had some unlucky results. We could have gone a little bit better, but some unforced errors on my behalf has left us outside the top 10. And then days like today where we're just not competitive. We have cracked the points though because someone's dropped out. P10. See if there's a car sitting outside the truck somewhere. Or if they've gone to the pits. Hungry corner again. And there's a Clark BMW just off to the left. So it's either Cotter or Dillman. Four laps to go. The stakes of this battle just got a lot higher. mecha, this little Peugeot. Down the hill. No rain this weekend, unlike the last round at Winton. Which is probably a good thing because Lakeside was prone to flooding. Presumably still is. I'm not sure what the modern dam works or anything around it have been, but the 1989 Australian Touring Car Championship round was postponed due to the track being flooded, and then when they did run it, that's when there was a big crash in this area, which I talked about during race 1. And in 1996 it flooded again. Tyres are well and truly past their best. Another straight. 2 to go. Floated through turn 1. Looks like Tony Longhurst is the leader of this race, and he's closing up to Phil Alexander in 12th. We've either lost Phil Alexander and Peter Hills, they've either retired or they've fallen back whilst Longhurst was lapping them. I can just see Longhurst, but I can't see anyone else. In the mirror behind him, I can just see Ellery, Phil Alexander and Longhurst. Across the line, 1 lap to go. Longhurst takes the checkered flag, so extends his championship lead. The Benson and Hedges BMW. The bridge. Not my fastest race, but provided I can hold 10th through the last 2 corners, then at least happy with how I defended. And across the line we go. To finish in 10th place in race 2, so at least we pick up a point, and roll on now to round 5 at Malala. So let's go and check out the results from round 4 race 2 here at Lakeside.
So Tony Longhurst takes the win in race 2, turning the tables on Phil Ward, who backs up his win in race 1 with a 2nd place in the 2nd race here. James Kay rounds out the podium with 3rd place in the Toyota Carina. Peter Duhlmann in 4th, and Paul Morris rounds out the top 5, unable to make any headway during that race, and you'd have to now consider him an outsider for the championship. Peter McKay finished 6th in the 2nd of the Technophone Mercedes. John Blanchard 7th, Greg Murphy 8th. Mark Adderton finished 9th, and we managed to get a point in race 2, struggling and fighting our way to 10th. That's the best we could do today, and we just have to look forward to the next round at Malala now. 11th was Steve Ellery, 12th Phil Alexander, Ken Matthews finished in 13th, Peter Hills rounded out the finishes in 14th because we lost John Cotter with brake trouble after 11 laps. So this is how the points look with 2 rounds to go. Tony Longhurst has a big lead, 124. 2nd place is Phil Ward, who's jumped up onto 82 points in front of Paul Morris, which is quite a surprise because Phil Ward's been very inconsistent, but then again so has Paul Morris. Peter Duhlmann 4th, who's been very consistent all year. He's only 6 points off 2nd place. Mark Adderton rounds out the top 5 on 62. Peter McKay in 6th, John Blanchard 7th, John Cotter 8th. 9th is James Kay, while Phil Alexander rounds out the top 10. Steve Ellery sits 11 on 26. We're 12th on 20. Then back to Peter Hills. Greg Murphy has jumped up to 14th now. Will equal 14th with Ken Matthews, both on 7 points. So that's where we'll leave Lakeside. Only 2 rounds of the championship to go. It's getting quite exciting. We're off to Malala next, and then the final round is on the short circuit at Oran Park. That's coming up soon, round number 5. I look forward to your company then, and thank you for watching the latest video today. Bye for now.